You can see the lineup for final 2. Alex Grau, Cargill, Leon Soul, Usak, Burnout, Leonov and Vieira on that front row of the grid in front of the 96 of Guerra Ruiz, Paul Torres, Goodside, Gallus, Blasuziak, Cody Webb and Colton Haker. Haker of course out to make amends after that opening final where a mistake on the opening lap where he tried to force his way down the inside and Tadej Blasuziak caught him out. He was able to get himself through to finish in third, pick up 15 championship points. Blasuziak of course he's lost the championship lead as it stands right now to Cody Webb after Webb picked up his first finals victory of this season. Triple One will start up on the outside of that back row of the grid for Tadej Blasuziak. Just beside him will be Colton Haker. You can see down the inside though is Cody Webb, and we saw that Tim Apple was able to make good use of that in the junior final. Let's see what the number 1 rider Cody Webb is able to do down in towards turn 1. So you can see there 15 seconds for the riders until the start of this race. Good side on the 33, just beside Kevin Gallus. Keep an eye out for both of those junior world champions. Cody Webb, the reigning world champion, on the inside on that back row of the grid, getting ready for the gate to drop here. Final 2 in Riesa, and it's a clean start for all the riders, but are they able to make it through turn 1 this time? They are, and it looks like it's Vieira just giving chase to Emil Usak out in front, and Usak is making the step up from the junior class, but the 61 is down. That's Cargill, the Polish rider, and he's down in the opening section of the lap. See at the back of the field though, it looks like Colton Haker's down in 13th spot, just behind number 13 Paul Torres. Kevin Gallus and Tadej Blasuziak also just trying to make their progress. Cody Webb though, from that inside line, he's able to get himself up into third in the early stages of the lap, and now into second for the number 1 machine, and he's going to try and put some pressure on Emil Usak to take that lead. You can see just how difficult it is for the riders to get through that rock section. Cody Webb out in front, he goes from row 2 to P1 on lap 1 here in Riesa final 2. And it's a comfortable lead out in front for Webb from Emil Usak. Just stretching his legs out in front is Cody Webb on that number 1 machine. Exactly what he has to do, because with the likes of Blasuziak down in 8th, Colton Haker in 9th, it really is a key opportunity for the reigning world champion to make up some serious points on his championship rivals. Of course, as it stands, coming into final 2, it is Cody Webb that leads the championship. You can see Emil Usak just getting hung out to dry through that section by Guerra, as Kevin Gallus continues to make some progress on that 71. Tadej Blasuziak able to pick off Kevin Gallus through the rocks, though Blasuziak comes across the line and he should be up into 5th spot there for Blasuziak. And Tadej of course just trying to make sure he's able to keep the pressure on Cody Webb. Blasuziak finished 2nd in final 1, Colton Haker finished 3rd in final 1. Haker's down in 7th spot, and the 3 leading riders will be doing everything they can to try and just get themselves out to those key point scoring positions with Cody Webb out in front. Of course, no Alfredo Gomez in this race. Gomez crashed in final 1, and that's why he's not taking the start now. So clearly an injury there for Gomez following that crash. Emil Usak just getting himself caught up once again in the rock section. Colton Haker on the number 10 machine, he's going to be putting some pressure on Usak to get through. Big jump there from Tadej Blasuziak on the triple 1. Down through the pivot turn, Blasuziak's in 3rd, putting the pressure on Guerra, and is he going to be able to try and make a move on this lap through that tighter inside lane in the lane choice section? And Blasuziak really does just look like a matter of time before he's able to move up into 2nd spot. Blasuziak trying to take that inside line. Is he going to hold it down in towards the right-hander? Nice and easy there for Tadej Blasuziak, a move that doesn't cost him any time as he gets through into 2nd spot. 17 points for 2nd, 20 points for the race leader. So Blasuziak knows that with Cody Webb out in front, it really is a case of just doing everything you can just to finish 2nd. 16 seconds is the gap between Blasuziak and Webb. So as we come into the second half of the race, all Cody Webb has to do is just keep going in this race. Colton Haker up into 4th spot on the number 10 machine. You can see Haker now on his Husqvarna just trying to put some pressure on Guerra as he tries to push his way into 3rd spot. He'll try and make the same move that we saw Blasuziak make at the end of the matrix down in towards the right-hander. Blasuziak comes through the right-hander, should be followed now by Colton Haker. Haker able to make that move, 15 points for 3rd. Haker finished 3rd in final 1, now up into 3rd in final 2. And you can see Cargill just getting out of the way through that rock section. Tadej Blasuziak comfortably across the line to start another lap, just in front of Colton Haker. That gap now 2.5 seconds between Haker and Blasuziak. Blasuziak, of course, in the Super Pole session had no answers for Colton Haker in the opening half of the lap. This is where Haker was strong. Let's see what he can do over the course of the next 2 minutes plus 1 lap. Mistake there for Blasuziak as he came over the cylinders, just lost a little bit of control of his KTM, and that's allowed the Husqvarna of Colton Haker to get through. Haker's up into second, just in front of Blasuziak on that triple one. We saw in final one Blasuziak was getting a little bit ragged, and he's doing the same now in final two. Blasuziak, of course, last year suffered a lot with arm pump problems on his return to SuperEnduro. It's a physical track here in Riesa, maybe just having some ill effects once again there for Blasuziak. Gap between himself and Guerra behind him is 2 seconds. The gap to Colton Haker is just over 3 seconds now. So Colton Haker just stretching out a lead now over Tadej Blasuziak. Diego Vieira is lapped traffic for Blasuziak. Out in front, Cody Webb just completing another lap, just coming through the pivot turn on the number 1 KTM. Comfortably out in front, and another fast lap last time around from Cody Webb as he continues to extend his lead nice and easy from the reigning world champion. Won 2 races in Riesa last year, trying to win 2 races once again this year with final 1 and final 2, and he really has looked in control here on that number 1 KTM. Webb, the reigning world champion, former enduro cross champion in the US, a trials champion in the US as well, and through the technical sections here in Riesa, that really has been his calling card. You can see there with Webb starting another lap. It'll be the penultimate lap of the race for the American. Californian out in front, Californian up in second as well. We saw a German 1-2 in the junior class, but Colton Haker with a mistake as he comes through the rocks and over the log, and Tadej Blasuziak's able to get through. Colton Haker able to get going once again. 2 laps to go for Haker, and you can see Blasuziak's in second, and he's got a big lead now over Colton Haker. Blasuziak's been ragged. Colton Haker made another mistake though, through the rocks, over the log, got himself caught. Is Blasuziak going to be able to hold on to this second spot on the final 2 laps of this race? See Blasuziak there trying to lap Kevin Gallas. Gallas is down in 8th spot. Colton Haker though, closing that gap straight away from Colton Haker on the number 10 machine. Blasuziak's going to be under pressure on the final lap of this race. Cody Webb just starting his final lap. This is the section where we saw Colton Haker make his mistake last time around through the sand. Of course, the sand has caught him out many times in the past here in Riesa. Looks like it's caught out Blasuziak, and Colton Haker with the chance to take second. Haker gets through. So despite the mistake on the previous lap from Colton Haker, he's got himself back through into second, and those all-important 17 championship points in front of Tadej Blasuziak. Cody Webb though, just trying to get through the log ramp. Webb, of course, with such a big lead, he can afford to make that mistake. Final lap here for Cody Webb as he tries to come across the line. Another race victory here for Cody Webb as he takes the 20 championship points and extends his championship lead. But it's Colton Haker that's recovered from down in 12th on the opening lap for Colton Haker to get himself up into second. Is he going to be able to hold off Blasuziak? Blasuziak with a mistake. That's going to guarantee second for Colton Haker. 17 points for the American and 15 points there for Tadej Blasuziak in third. Once again for Blasuziak. Haker and Webb have been on the top 3 in each of the finals in the opening 5 finals of the year. Webb leading this one from Colton Haker by 19 seconds at the flag. Really was an impressive performance from that man, Cody Webb, the reigning world champion. And it really was a class ride there from Cody Webb. He was able to take advantage of a better lane down in towards turn 1. He was on the inside line and he used that to get himself up into 3rd position at turn 1, and he was leading by the end of the opening lap. You can see here with Webb though, just able to get himself through the log section at the end of the lap, and a big jump across the line to those 20 points, and a second race victory here in Riesa tonight for Cody Webb. In the reverse grid final 2, Webb is able to pick up the win comfortably from a recovering Colton Haker. Tadej Blasuziak in 3rd. Once again, the top 3 are the only on-lapped riders. Good performance there from Guerra Ruiz in 4th position in front of Paul Torres. Torres on that 13 with another good ride in front of Blake Goodside and Kevin Gallas. But the top 3 riders in the world, once more, the top 3 riders here in Riesa final 2.